Hey friends, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts with another fun yarn unboxing and giveaway. Now this one comes from my new friends at YCrochet. Now you might not have heard of them before, but I guarantee you've heard of their sister site, which is Knit Picks. So YCrochet just launched earlier this month and it's a crochet-centric website. Now what's nice about them is that you can still shop all the same yarns that you get from Knit Picks, all of those glorious yarns that I just cannot get enough of, but with YCrochet you're going to find tools, patterns, books, all kinds of things that are geared towards us crocheters. So here's a little bit of information that I found on their page. It says, "We believe in the power of crochet. Handmade items make life more cozy, comfortable, and colorful, and we embrace the practical, playful, enthusiastic, fashionable, and expressive powers of crochet." That is a mouthful. We see you crocheters, and we recognize there has been no single place specifically for you until now. Welcome to the new home for crochet, where everyone is part of the family. Welcome to YCrochet. So I kind of love that there's a new platform just for us. I do feel like there have been other places that have tried to cater to crocheters, but ultimately ends up being a site that's for knitters, and like there's this tiny piece just for crocheters. So YCrochet is a standalone website. It's just crochet.com, the easiest URL ever to remember. And again, you can still find all of the Knit Picks yarns on there, but they have crochet hooks. They're going to have books, patterns highlighting indie designers, and some people in-house there at YCrochet. Now I'm super excited to announce that with the new launch of YCrochet, I am one of their ambassadors, and that means for the next few months you can expect some content from me right here on YouTube and on my blog, TLYCblog.com. So for this month I'm doing this yarn unboxing, and then for November and December I'm going to have new patterns on my website. Now if you have more questions about these yarns, questions about YCrochet, or even about their blog, which is actually really nice, I'm going to have links to all those down in the description. So today we're going to be unboxing some yarns from YCrochet. Some of them I know and some of them I know nothing about. And then at the end I'm going to tell you how you can get some of these goodies on your own doorstep. So without further ado, let's get this box open. So I've got everything in order here, all prettied up, all these different colorways. So I asked for something in each of their weights. I didn't get super bulky, but I got fingering, sport, DK, worsted, and bulky. So the first one we're looking at is this pretty girl right here. She is called Lindy Chain. Now Lindy Chain is a single ply kind of summer mix. So what do we have in here? Let's get some specs real quick. We've got 70% linen, 30% Pima cotton, which means that this definitely has a little bit of bite to it, as linen does. It's not like a super smooth, super soft kind of yarn, but it's got a really good sheen to it. It's going to have some amazing drape with the linen and the cotton, and it's a chain net construction. So you can see it a little bit as I zoom in here on this pretty, oh my gosh, this pretty like wine color. Now I want some wine. Okay, so I got this pretty wine color. This one's called Holly Berry. That's cute. No, it's Holly Berry. I'm sure it's just all one word. And then this one is called Ivy. It's this pretty deep green. Love that. And I'm not a huge green fan, but this is definitely calling my name. And then this one is called Blush. It's this really pretty soft pink, almost a baby pink, but I think with the construction of this yarn, it definitely has a little bit more character than you'll get out of just a classic baby pink yarn. So on their website, they definitely encourage this as a summer yarn. It's definitely light. It's got some good drape. It's got a little bit of sheen to it, and it's machine washable. And they say that it gets softer with every single wash. So I love these colors, maybe not necessarily together, but I think this yarn especially would work great for crocheters. I could see this in all kinds of garments. I think it would be fun for maybe some lighter weight baby things as well. I think if you were feeling ambitious and didn't mind working with single ply, this could make a really pretty summer blanket too. So this one is called Lindy Chain. Yum yum. So next on deck, we've got this pretty girl here. This one is called Shine Sport, and you can tell why already. It is picking up that light beautifully, and it's got a nice little shine to it. So some specs on this is the sport weight, which is just one weight heavier than fingering. So the thing with sport weight is I find that it gets a little tricky to find in stores. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's a weird spot between fingering and DK, which I think are both really popular. But if you want something that's lightweight but not quite as thin as fingering, sport weight is definitely the way to go. So some specs on this one, you've got 60% Pima cotton, 40% modal, which is a natural beechwood fiber, and it adds kind of some of the traits of silk without having to be as sensitive with it as silk. So it's still machine washable. They recommend this really for baby and kid stuff because it's long wearing. The cotton in it is long wearing, but it's still silky smooth to the touch. It's got a nice high twist to it, which means that it would be fantastic for things like color work or really small stitches. So I got a few different colors. You can see already from this palette, they definitely go bright. With the Shine Sport, this color is called Grapefruit. I don't know that I'd call this grapefruit necessarily. It's a little bit more orange than pink. I would call this one's called Crocus. I don't know what a crocus is, so I don't know if that's right or not. And then this one is called Reef, which is a really pretty kind of teal blue, which I love. And a lot of their colors are really bright on this. I'm trying to count how many colors. It's a lot. It's a whole lot of colors. But I think this would be really fun for just about any type of project. I love that it's a sport weight. I personally have been getting more into that lately. And I think as crocheters, we definitely don't want to be shy when it comes to lighter weight yarns. So if you wanted to kind of experiment with going down on your weights, I think that this Shine Sport would be a perfect way to go. Now here we go with one of my absolute favorites. This one is City Tweed DK. Now I haven't designed anything with this yarn, but there is a ton of it in my stash already. Tweed is definitely the darling when it comes to fiber right now. I find that a lot of indie dyers are using Tweed. I actually used Tweed in my recent French press cardi, which I'll link to below so you guys can see it. But I adore this yarn. So some specs on this is a level 3 DK weight, so a little bit lighter than worsted, heavier than sport, and it's a 55% merino wool, 25% superfine alpaca, and then 20% Donegal tweed. So that little bit of alpaca in there gives it a little bit of a halo, which you can see kind of bouncing off of there. That tweed, 20% tweed means it's nice and heavy with tweed, so you're going to see this little black and kind of oatmeal colored flecks all throughout the yarn. And what's nice about this one too is since it's a mix, you can still hand wash it. It's going to hold up and has that sturdiness that you get with wool, but the softness of superfine alpaca. And also as a crocheter, I love, 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 love using this yarn. It feels so nice running across my fingers, and it looks great in everything from garments to blankets to accessories. It feels so nice on your skin. So this color is called Snowshoe. It's this really kind of oatmeal heathered looking color. This one, which is definitely a favorite, is called Blue Blood. It's a really deep kind of oxblood. Parts of it feel like it's leaning toward purple even. It's such a deep, pretty red. And then this one is called Toad, like a frog, but it's much, much prettier than a frog. It's this really pretty kind of mossy green. It's not an evergreen, definitely, and not kind of a just your average green. It's definitely got a deep, really earthy feel to it. And I feel like the entire line of this yarn has that really rustic kind of farmhouse color palette to it. So I personally love these three together, and I can't wait to see whoever wins this and what they do with it. So next up is a yarn that is definitely new to me. This one is called Twill worsted weight. So just an FYI, it does say 3 on the label, but this is a worsted weight. I did like the yarn wrap test, double checked on the website. So this is a worsted. I'm going to pull up a lighter color so you can see this. First off, just get into this color. This one's my favorite. I absolutely love it. This color is called Gold Rush, obviously. It's a really pretty gold, and I feel like sometimes golds can lean way too yellow or be too dark to be truly gold, but this feels like a true, lovely gold. A few specs on Twill. This is 100% superwash merino, so it's a super classic merino wool. It's really soft. You get the bounce that you get with merino wool. It's a nice kind of medium twist, so similar to probably the Shine Sport. It's gonna pull up really nicely when you do color work. And honestly, when I saw these colors together and I felt this yarn, I'm like, this feels like a color work sweater to me. Now we don't get a lot of that as crocheters, but I feel like indie designers are doing a lot more colorwork sweaters, and this would be a perfect yarn for it. It's going to work up fast because it's a worsted weight. Oop, we lost one. But it's also going to just be really beautiful. And with superwash wool, that means you can machine wash it in cold water, and you can also tumble dry it. It won't shrink on you, it won't lose its color, and it's going to stand the test of time. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is 100 grams. You get 149 yards in that, which is really generous for a worsted weight, and they're recommending anywhere from an I to a K hook, which feels right for a worsted. So we've got Gold Rush here. This one's called Dungaree. Look at that pretty navy blue. Like, can you deal? It's just so gorgeous. And then this one, which is fun, this one is called Black Cherry Heather. Now, similar to green, I really don't get into purples a lot, but like, look at that. It's glowy, and you can see the heather in there. So it's got some lighter purples and some darker purples. And actually right now it kind of looks a little bit more lowy reddish, but it's definitely a beautiful, beautiful purple. Like, I could totally see these in a project together. So this one again is called Twill, worsted weight. My favorite, of course, is Gold Rush, obviously, but you've got to get your hands on this. It is so squishy soft. And I love a yarn like this. I love crocheting with 100% superwash wool because it maintains that bounce that sometimes you lose when you crochet a project. So that's Twill. And then last but not least is this mammoth right here. This one is called Fable Fur. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've seen all of the really fun kind of novelty yarns that are happening right now, and fur is certainly having its moment. So what I like about Fable Fur, even as a, oh, this is super bulky. I thought it was a bulky weight. Well, either way, I've worked with this yarn already. I actually have a fun project coming out next month in November. But as a super bulky weight yarn, you're really getting a lot of the heft from the fur itself and not from kind of the part that you actually crochet with. So as you can see here, you kind of have what's called a weft right here, and that's what holds on to the fibers. So even when you're crocheting, you can look for this weft, this kind of dark part right here, and put your hook underneath that, and that's what you're going to catch when you crochet. So some details on this: you've got 100 grams, 71 yards. With any kind of faux fur yarn that you're working with, you're not going to get a ton of yardage out of it because the fur gets heavy. So 71 yards. This color is called Björn, Bjern. I think I'm saying that right. This one is called Oso or Aso. I don't know where these names are coming from. This one is called Mishka, and this one is Kuma. This one's like a pretty like lighter gray on the tips, and then the weft is almost black. So you're really gonna get, and as you can already see, you kind of have that black underneath that you can see, and all of these kind of feel like they have a bit of a heathered tone to them because none of them are completely solid colored. This one is probably the closest to a solid, a really kind of deep brown. Even the weft is a slightly darker brown, so you're gonna get a little bit of that tonality out of this. This one, Mishka, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this color. I really want to do something like I want I want to be super extra and make like a faux fur, just little rug to put on my bed. Like when I swing my feet out of bed and I put my feet on this, I'm like, oh yes, like start the day off very luxurious, very extra with some fur on the ground. And then this one, Björn, is definitely my favorite. I think this would be beautiful for garments. Like I said, I have a fun little something coming out in November you won't want to miss that uses this yarn. So it is 100% polyester. You're meant to hand wash it, dry it flat. This is definitely not a kind of hard wearing fiber. The fur itself will probably stand up for a good amount of time, but over time this is gonna, I don't know. I wouldn't put this in like high traffic areas. I wouldn't put it on a garment that you plan to wear a lot. It's definitely kind of an accessory, kind of an extra, a special little something that you want to do on your projects. I could totally see this as a cowl or something really nice to go around your neck in the wintertime. A few home decor items, like you could mix this with several different yarns for maybe a fun textured wall hanging. You can really just go crazy with this. So I got 4 different colors, and there are several. Some of them are kind of on the same palette as this, the more natural looking colors, and then they do have a couple kind of fun novelty colors happening. So that is Fable Fur. Yum. Get into that squish. So just a quick recap, we have Lindy Chain here, which is a beautiful fingering weight cotton and, I forgot already, cotton and linen blend, really beautiful for summer garments and lightweight crochet projects. Then we've got Shine Sport, which is just above a fingering, just below a DK. It's got a nice sheen on it, really great drape. And that one is a Pima cotton and modal blend. We've got City Tweed DK, DK weight, which is definitely a favorite right now. It's got these really pretty flecks in it and has that good woodsy color palette. Twill, which I am living for. Like the texture on that superwash merino is so, so good. A worsted weight, so it's going to work up fast, but you've got a ton of beautiful color options. And then lastly, we've got Fable Fur, which is honestly just super duper fun. So stick around for some details on how you can win these yarns. Okay, so I put everything back in the box, but if I'm being honest, all I want to do is just shrink myself up real small, jump into this box and live there forever. But when it comes down to it, I clearly have no more space for yarn, so I need this to go to a good home. Now, I can't resist grabbing just one skein for myself. But the rest of this is going to get taped up and go to one lucky winner. Now, one quick stipulation with this giveaway, it will be for US residents only. I know I'm going to catch flack for this, but that international shipping be killing your girl. Don't worry, there are going to be more international giveaways on the page, I promise. So to enter the giveaway, you have to do 3 things. First, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be checking. 2, give this video a thumbs up. Again, I'm going to be checking. And 3, just drop down into the comments. Let me know your name, where you're checking in from, so what state you're in, and which of these yarns is your favorite, and maybe even let me know what you're going to do with it. So this is Wednesday. I'm going to leave this giveaway open until Saturday night, and I'm going to pick a winner on Sunday. I'm going to reply to your comment directly, so make sure you comment, and I'm also going to update the description and let you know who won. So I want to say a huge thank you to my friends at WeCrochet for just giving me a chance to squish and look at all of these beautiful yarns. Again, make sure you're checking out my website, TLYCblog.com, for some updated new and free patterns using WeCrochet yarns. Good luck to everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.